Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with the next session in the Alpha Wolf Personal Development and Expansion series. And this session is going to be all about understanding how to create rituals of conditioning. So, rituals that condition our mind and our emotional state, our psychological state, our spiritual state. Like, basically, we're conditioning in any sort of state of being that we would like to have within ourselves. And we're doing it through the process of like ritualistic practices. For example, when I want to become healthy, it's like if I can create rituals around how I eat and what I eat, around how I train and what I train, it sort of makes it a lot easier for me to achieve my goal because it means so much more. So, for example, for me personally, I personally don't like fat on my body. It's just a thing I have. So, like, my rituals around eating are around minimizing fat. So, I minimize the like fat content that I eat. I minimize, like, if anything has animal fats, I don't eat it. Do you sort of get it? Like I prioritize what I want because to me it's more than that. Like it's a ritual. Do you sort of get it? I don't want to have excess fat on me. So ritualistically, I'm observant of what I eat and how I eat. Do you sort of get it? So like if I'm eating all day every day and not exercising, not being active, not having a need for why I'm eating so much, like to me there's reason and meaning behind that. Do you sort of get it? Why I wouldn't do that. So if I find myself eating bad food day after day after day, like it's my responsibility to alter and change that behavior. Do you sort of get it? So when my eating behaviors and my eating patterns are a ritual, then what happens is it becomes a deeper connection to why I'm doing it and like what it means for me to take the action. So like, am I worshiping myself every time I eat healthily? Am I worshiping myself every time I follow a diet? Am I worshiping myself, every time that I'm sort of working out and training? So, like, how do I worship myself? And then what does that mean? And what does that feel like when I am the one who worships me? Do you sort of get it? When I am the one who worships my diet, when I am the one who worships my mental space, when I am the one who worships, my physical access or asset, my physical body. Do you sort of get it? It's like if I'm self-destructive and always eating McDonald's and sitting on the couch and all of that, like I'm self-destructively degrading my physical asset that is me. I can't do as much as I want to do. I can't, I create limitations and things like that. I create health problems. So we just understand when I take it away from goal achievement, because this is the thing. Most people see dieting as a goal. Good for you. Do you sort of get it? It's not a fucking goal. It's a way of being. It's a way of living. What I eat means something to me. Do you sort of get it? Like, it's not just like I want to lose weight, because then once I lose weight, what the fuck happens to my diet? If I'm exercising to get a six pack, once I get a six pack, what happens to my exercise regime? Do you sort of get it? If it's a way of worship and I get a six pack, what happens? Motherfucker, I intensify my worship. I go harder. I do more. Do you sort of get it? I usually start off with an hour gym session, and after 2 to 3 months, I'll be at a 3 hour gym session. Do you sort of get it? Because I have more competency and capability. Motherfucker, I can worship more. Do you sort of get it? It's a funny thing. Like, people don't understand this. So they see the goal. I want to achieve the goal, and they put all their focus into the goal and they don't even invest in self. Do you sort of get it? Like, it's a funny thing because, for example, I just eat food. I don't diet. Do you sort of get it? It's just the food I naturally eat is a diet. Do you sort of get it? It's not rocket surgery. Do you sort of get it? But if I'm trying to diet, I have to be so focused on my food. Like I just eat carbohydrates. Do you sort of get it? Protein and carbohydrates. That's it. Like it's a funny thing because when we start to see this, it's sort of like I don't even have to worry about what I eat if I structure what I eat in my internal like way of worshipping, so the meaning of the food. So like I don't get, we all get cravings for negative foods, and negative foods are just foods that are chemically induced to create biochemical responses in the brain. So like for example, sugary chocolate and things like that and candy releases serotonin dumps because of the large amounts of sugar. Do you sort of get it? Like really, really rich and greasy foods release dopamine and things like that. So it's sort of like when we start to understand the food that I eat, okay, if it's natural, it's all good. If it's man-made, unfortunately, in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, they decided that the chemical route was the right route to take. For example, soft drink like Coke, they have to put a chemical in it because the amount of sugar in a Coke would make you vomit. Do you sort of get it? Like a sip of that would make you vomit uncontrollably. You can look it up by all means. Do you sort of get it? So, like, if that's the case, that they have to chemically induce or repress natural effects of our body to what we eat and drink, well, evidently, it doesn't sound fucking healthy to me. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it. Like, I still drink soft drink every now and then, but it's sort of like when I start to see that it's not the diet. Do you sort of get it? Like, it's not about dieting. It's just about being conscious about the food and how it affects me. Do you sort of get it? It's about worshipping it. Foods I love, I worship. Do you sort of get it? Like, if I love, for example, like Italian food, when I eat it, if I'm just eating it because I like Italian food, what's the fucking point? I connect with the food. I eat it. I enjoy it. I consume of it. It's an experience. Do you sort of get it? It's deeper than just like eating the food. Because if I'm just eating the food, why wouldn't I just have porridge with nuts in it? It's like the healthiest food. Do you know what I mean? Get oatmeal, nuts, coconut, and just do honey or something like that. Like, job done. You could eat that every day of your life and you're healthy because it's got all the shit you need. Do you sort of get it? But we don't want to because we enjoy the experience of the food. But the problem is, a lot of us are focused on the biochemical responses of the food and not the experiential sensation. Meaning, I eat a block of chocolate, it feels good, and then I feel like shit. Do you sort of get it? Like, I'm focused on the experience of the biochemical sensations while eating opposed to focusing on the biochemical responses as a result of eating. Do you sort of get it? So that's what we're doing when we're trying to become, i.e., healthier, is we just become aware that it doesn't matter what I feel while I eat the food. If I feel like shit afterwards, is it a good deal? Do you sort of get it? It's like, and we all do this with like fucking Maccas. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it wouldn't be your first choice to go to Macca's. Do you know what I mean? Like you want something good, like if the price of all restaurants was identically the same, would you choose McDonald's? Do you sort of get it? If all restaurants, all products, lobster, steak, whatever, like if that was all exactly the same price as McDonald's, would you choose to eat McDonald's over that? So would you choose McDonald's over a lobster dinner? Would you choose McDonald's over a steak barbecue or a barbecue? Like, do you sort of get it? So we start to understand that we're not assessing the food based on our desire for it. When we go to McDonald's, it's because we think it's cheap. It's because we know it's easy and quick. It's because of the convenience. It's because of the biochemical responses we have while eating the food, even though the food is technically not food. Do you sort of get it? So it's like this understanding that, like, when I'm looking at it as, like, eating healthy as a goal, I'm not really focusing in on the experience or sensations that I have while I eat. It's a means to an end. Now, imagine if I took that mentality over to relationships, that in connection and connecting with others, it's a means to an end and it's not what I ideally want, so to speak. Do you sort of get it? It's like if there was nothing that could go wrong in you, like if nothing could go wrong in you finding or expressing to the person who you love or ideally want in this life, like if there was no barriers in between that, like if you wanted it, you could have it. Do you sort of get it? Like you've got a book and you can choose through, and they've marked out the one that is your ideal match for this lifetime. It's like, if you know that, would you settle for relationships external to that? Do you sort of get it? Like in connection, if I could have everything I've always dreamed and desired of within another person and within myself and within the experience, would I really settle for someone who tears me down, someone who drags me down, someone who limits me, someone who doesn't accept me? Do you sort of get it? But it's this idea of convenience, of, lack of worth, lack of, confidence, all these different things that cause us to create these narratives of settling, just like we do with McDonald's. Do you sort of get it? And it's very important to understand this because in life, you have the choice of everything. It's what you choose to determine is for you that becomes for you. So if I say that I'm not good enough to be with my ideal partner in this lifetime, and I have to settle for something that I don't want, that's not fulfilling to me, it's sort of like if I go down that path, it's because I chose to. Do you sort of get it? Because there is no limitations on life. So if I think about it like this, if I'm looking at goal achievement, I just want the goal. So if I have to settle on the quality of the goal to get it quicker, well, wouldn't I do that? If I can't see any other options of goals, like, wouldn't I just take this because this looks good enough? Do you sort of get it? And that's the thing. In goal achievement, we cannot see beyond what is in front of us. We can only see directly what is in front of us. And that's the thing. Now, think about it if we switched it over to worshiping. Rather than me looking at connection as a goal, as a means to an end, I look at connection as a form of worship, a form that I worship self, a form that I worship God, that I worship life, that I worship love, whatever association you want to have to it. But it's like, if that's the way I look at this situation and I'm going through this book, wouldn't I just cross out every other person in that book bar the one I want? Because every other person is never going to fulfill what I want. Do you sort of get it? So it's this understanding that, like, if I want to truly connect in life, in love, it's sort of like, if I sacrifice for connection, am I truly connecting? If I have to alter and change who I am, how I connect, what I think is important, what I think is valuable, what I want to experience in life, how I want to experience it. Like if I'm having to settle on them, am I really experiencing like the fullness of life? Do you sort of get it? It's like when I worship, it's like I could settle for something that I don't want, but I'm not going to feel fulfilled. no matter what I do. So it's sort of like, would I choose sacrifice over settling? Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm worshiping for life, if I'm and we think of worship, okay, and worship just means like I'm striving for the ideal. Do you sort of get it when I worship, through anything? Like, for example, if I worship a musician as being like highly talented, something like, a Lenny Kravitz or something like that. Like, do you know what I mean? If I'm worshiping him, it's because he aspired to become the best that he could be. Do you sort of get it? Like I'm not worshiping someone, I'm not worshiping something because I'm accepting less than ideal. Do you sort of get it? Because it's like think about this. You're praying to God and you're praying for your dream life and you're sitting there negotiating on everything. Are you going to receive your dream life? Do you sort of get it? So like in prayer, it's sort of like we will naturally pray for the ideal, you know, God, I need guidance. God, I need, strength. It's sort of like we're not saying, God, I just need like, $50 of strength. Do you know what I mean? I just need enough strength to get me out of this situation and then I don't want any more. No, it's like, God, I want strength. Give me strength. It's not a strength that I'm letting go of. Do you sort of get it? Because that would be idiotic because then I have to pray for strength every time I want strength. Do you sort of get it? So, like, we start to understand when we use this language of worship, what we are telling ourselves is to strive for the ideal. So when I worship in connection and through connection, it's sort of like I want the ideal of connection so I can experience the fullness of connection. Do you sort of get it? It's sort of like, and now think about it in relationships and love and all of that. It's sort of like if I'm if I'm sacrificing or settling for what I don't want, what I'm striving for, the ideal of what that connection feels to me. It's sort of like there's no space for me to ever feel it. Do you know what I mean? So we understand this through the ideals of, or the ideas of, like, if I have options in a relationship, it's sort of like I'm never going to be fully in it. Just to the same in a battle. If I have ways out of that battle, should that battle turn against me, why wouldn't I run? Do you sort of get it? So it's so it's this idea when I worship, what I am doing is I am eliminating everything but what I want. And then that's what I invest into. Do you sort of get it? And it's not to say like I do it in a codependent way. Do you sort of get it? It has to be authentic and genuine. Otherwise, I am settling. Do you sort of get it? So it's like this idea in love, if I am my authentic self, even if it takes 1,000 times. Do you know what I mean? Eventually, there's going to be someone that reflects authentically back to me. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, am I committed and willing to continue on even though I do not see? Like, that's the importance of worship because worship is based in faith. Do you sort of get it? And faith is not found in the known. Faith is only found external to the known, in the unknown. So, like, for example, if I know how to tie my shoes, I don't have to have faith that I can tie my shoes. Do you know what I mean? But if I don't know how to, for example, survive in the wilderness, well, I have to have faith that I'm able to do it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's this idea that, like, what we're talking about through worship is the unknown. I'm striving for what I've never experienced before in life. So it's based around faith. Do you sort of get it? So I have to sort of create ways of like building my faith. Do you know what I mean? So we do this through conditioned language and narratives, like some that I've mentioned to you that, like, for example, if I'm authentic and I just keep being authentic, like in relationships, eventually authenticity is going to be reflected to me. If I limit and lower myself and I'm not my authentic self, how will I ever know when I find authenticity? Do you sort of get it? I won't recognize it because I will think everyone is like me. Do you sort of get it? Just to the same, if I'm authentic, I think everyone is authentic until they prove me wrong. Do you sort of get it? And like, it's just like, think of inauthenticity as being something as simple as me saying, I'm going to be there at 5 p.m. and then I get there at 5:30. Like, it's inauthentic because I said one thing and I did another thing. Do you sort of get it? So like that's why if you think about our trust, like that's how we build and structure our trust of other people is through seeing the authentic actions where their words align. Do you sort of get it? And if someone's words and actions don't align, like let's say 30% of their words and actions align, 70% don't, like I don't really trust you, mate, because majority of the time what you say isn't what you mean. Do you sort of get it? So it's like the more I align what I say and what I mean, the more I am becoming that authentic, trustworthy person within myself. Do you sort of get it? So we just understand, like in life, if I am the one diminishing myself from being or speaking and behaving how I want to like speak and behave in life, it's sort of like I am the one self-regulating and self-limiting my life. Do you sort of get it? So it's this idea through worship, we do not negotiate. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm worshiping to get into the best shape of life, I'm not negotiating and saying, like, I'll do upper body, but I won't do lower body. Like all those roiders, the chicken legs, they're so funny because they don't realize the bigger you are, the harder you fall, especially if your foundation's weak. Do you sort of get it? It's a funny thing. But it's this idea that like if I'm worshiping, I'm not going in there and just doing my biceps. I'm not just doing my chest. I'm doing everything because I want everything to be the ideal of what it could be. And just realize the ideal of what it could be does not exist yet. It is still in the unknown, needing to be found. Do you sort of get it? And it's only through worship can I move through the unknown. Do you sort of get it? Because, like, if I'm trying to create my ideal body, and let's say I'm 200 kilos overweight, and I'm trying to become exactly how I am now, it's sort of like if I'm trying to achieve this goal, I need to see progress. Otherwise, my morale and my belief in momentum will waver. Do you sort of get it if I'm not seeing progress and things like that? And this is why a lot of people struggle, especially with weight loss, is because it's sort of like I've conditioned my body to eat a certain level of food. And I've only ever done a limited amount of exercise. Now I'm trying to switch that around, and it's sort of like if I'm trying to lose weight, especially being obese, it's going to be an impossible task because I have to minimize what I eat and then I have to increase my output, but I'm going to still feel hungry. So it's going to be this battle. So I just have to alter and shape it so that it's like if I keep working out, if I keep eating healthy, even if I'm not perfect, it's like at a certain point in time, I will achieve my goal because we see it with everyone who's done that. Do you know what I mean? All of the people who have gone from like obese and morbidly obese to being in some of the best health of their life. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a long journey of struggle. Do you know what I mean? Of becoming who they wanted to be. So we realize that it's only in faith that we can find that person. Because if all I have to go on is the mirror, like, do you know what I mean? In a week, am I still feeling the same? In 2 weeks, am I still feeling the same? In 3 weeks, am I still feeling the same? Like, if I'm not seeing results, am I still feeling that I'm doing the right thing? Do you know what I mean? Is it worthwhile? Is it meant for me? Do you know what I mean? So all these negative self-doubt come in because I'm not seeing immediate results. Do you sort of get it? All the insecurities come in. So what I have to do is I have to let go to the need to know, and I pick up faith and belief that should I see my ideal and should I choose to create rituals of conditioning or rituals of worship, practices of worship, like if I keep doing that, I will achieve my goal. Do you sort of get it? It's sort of like if my goal was to be a millionaire, if I make $1 a day, do you know what I mean? If I make $10 a day, if I make $100 a day, like if I can create consistency and stability within my rituals and my actions, okay? So every day I work and I sell things and I make money, right? Eventually I'm going to reach it. But if I'm just looking at today, if I'm just looking at the current circumstances or environment, well, I only made this much today. Am I going to make more tomorrow? Am I going to make less tomorrow? Like, do you sort of get it? So it's like if I'm looking at it, it's like if it's not progressively increasing on a track, and trust me, I can attest to this. Like, I've put 4,300 videos up on YouTube and mine's gone. Do you sort of get it? Like what we're looking for is that. Do you sort of get it? So like my confidence takes a waver when it's not progressing up because if it's progressing up, I feel like I'm on the right track. Just like, for example, if I was obese and I was looking for weight loss, like if my weight is going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, it's sort of like it's going to be very demoralizing because I don't feel like I'm on the right path. But if my weight was just going down, 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 down progressively, it doesn't matter at what rate it goes down. I feel like I'm on the right path. Do you sort of get it? So like that's the problem. There are periods before we see progression. And that's why we need faith. That's why we are reaching into the unknown, is because when I cannot see the results of the work I do, I have to keep pushing, keep believing, keep moving forward. I have to have faith because should I not have faith, my courage will waver. Should I not have faith, my belief will waver. Do you sort of get it? So, like, we start to realize the only way that I can do this is through worship. So, I have to find something and I have to worship it. So, like, for example, if I'm, let's say, obese, 200 kilos overweight, it's sort of like I have to worship health, my healthiest self. And every day is a progression to getting there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a marathon to become healthy, but it's like every step adds up. Even though there's like probably a million steps, it's sort of like, do you know what I mean? All I have to do is continue pushing through. And that's the thing about it, is if I don't see the end, if I can't see where I want to go, it is so hard to move forward. Do you know what I mean? This is why people like get demoralized, and you can see it on in war and combat. This is the easiest way to see it at its most extreme level. But if I am in the mindset that this battle is already won and we have the numbers and we are more competent and capable, and then it starts going and we're winning, my courage is up there. My confidence, my direction, I'm in the right place. We're doing the right thing. If the battle turns against us, do you sort of get it? If I don't see the path to survival, if I don't see the path to like us getting out of this alive, like it will erode all strength and confidence that I have because if it goes bad, like I want to be out before it goes bad. Do you sort of get it? And this is what happens when armies waver and break. Do you sort of get it? They become demoralized to the point where retreating is the only option that I see as like getting like surviving of getting out of this. So it's sort of like in diet and exercise, if I'm trying to lose weight, is sort of like if I become too demoralized, giving up is going to be the only option that makes sense to me because everything else doesn't work. Just the same in career. If I look at, for example, with content creation and things like that, like if I'm just looking at the results and the views and the money made and all of this, like if I become demoralized, I don't see a way forward because it's not working. Do you sort of get it? Like it's not working moving forward. I can't break this wall. So going backwards is the only option. So I have to have faith and I have to be able to see beyond the wall and understand that there's no other fucking walls there. Once I break this wall down, I'll just keep moving through. Do you sort of get it? So it's like once I believe in a weight loss journey that I am losing weight, that this is working, there is no other wall. Once I see the results from my diet and exercise, there's no other thing. So in bodybuilding, we call this when you start to sort of bulk. So when you go from being 60 kilos to 80 kilos, and now you've got defined muscle, once you see that, you can't go back. Do you sort of get it? You can't go back to this idea that I am not the master of this body. I can't recreate myself. And what you see in a lot of men, especially ones that get into like bodybuilding and like body sculpting. So not so much in terms of like the professional bodybuilding, but more in terms of creating the body that you want. Do you sort of get it? Once people see that, it just switches flip to where you now have this level of confidence that I can achieve anything that I want. Do you sort of get it? And it doesn't matter where you come from. You could be the smallest, scrawniest dude. You could be the, most obese, overweight dude. Once you have that realization, like it doesn't matter where you came from. Do you sort of get it? It's the same in business. It's the same in love. It's the same in everything. Like in love, once you have that realization that I can experience the love that I want, you know what I mean? Like I can experience it from within myself. I can give myself all the love that I want, but I can also find it. So not to say I find it within someone else, but it is a reaction to someone else. Do you sort of get it? It's like when we think about being in love, it's not that I'm in love with you. It's that who you are makes me feel love within me. Do you sort of get it? So like the love I feel is a reflection of who you are to me. Do you sort of get it? So it's like it's not that I like need you to feel that love. It's that like you are the one that amplifies that or that brings that out. So it's sort of like this. Think about it like in friendships. It's like if I'm around people that are negative, that are toxic, that are draining me and all of this, like I'm gonna feel drained after it. If I'm around people that like excite me and I have fun with and it's joyful and it's blissful and it's peaceful, like I'm gonna feel exhilarated leaving. Do you sort of get it? Who do I want to be around? Do you know what I mean? So it's like in love, it's like if I find someone that makes me feel like or brings out of me the love I want to feel in this life, do you sort of get it? Once I see that, once I realize that it isn't that I am codependent on this person, it's that this person like resonates with me or something like that. Do you sort of get it? So it's this understanding that the more I understand this aspect of it, the less dependent it is. It's sort of like if I want to be in my ideal health, it's sort of like I don't have to work out every day. I don't have to diet every day. It's like if I live a healthy lifestyle and I commit to consistency, it's like I'm free to take a break. I'm free to have Christmas off. I'm free to have whatever I want. So like for example, for me, I eat a very strict diet naturally so that if I feel like when I'm out having a snack, it's sort of like I'm allowed to eat something that I deem as being unhealthy because the majority of my life, I'm healthy. So if I have a couple of things that make me unhealthy, do you know what I mean? So it could be that, like, let's say I like drinking beer. Oh, well, for me, it's smoking. Okay. So I like smoking. So what happens is that if I'm smoking, if I'm drinking, if I'm, partying, if I'm doing all these different things, if I'm eating unhealthy, like it's going to be unhealthy. If I create health within every other aspect of life, and this is the one aspect of life that, isn't the most healthy, it's sort of like it counteracts that. Do you sort of get it? Like it doesn't mean that you're not going to get cancer from smoking. It doesn't mean you're not going to get emphysema from smoking. It doesn't mean negative things aren't going to happen. It just means that, like, should the majority of my life be disciplined? Should the majority of my life be structured in a way that it counteracts anything negative that I do, i.e., the diet I eat is a like it stops cancer. Fruit and vegetables is the cure to cancer. Who knew? Cannabis is the cure to cancer. Who knew? Other diseases injected into cancer is the cure for cancer. Who knew? We have already cured cancer. Do you sort of get it? So it's like if the negative aspect of my behavior is going to cause cancer, yet every other aspect of my life is cancer fighting, it's sort of like, you know what I mean? It's a fair way to move through life. Do you know what I mean? Like if everything is creating cancer, so like I'm eating refined foods, I'm eating, like chemicals, I'm, eating pesticides, I'm eating all these different things, smoking, drinking, all this other stuff. It's sort of like it's amplifying the negative. Do you know what I mean? So it's like now let's take that and let's think about that in terms of like personal relationships. It's sort of like it's not it's not a negative thing to have negative traits. Do you know what I mean? We all have it. I'm hyper aggressive. Do you know what I mean? So like what I do to counteract that is I soften my speech. Do you sort of get it? I try and avoid things that make me aggressive. I try to, do like think positively because if all of my thoughts and behaviors and actions were those of aggression, it would only amplify my aggression. Do you sort of get it? Do you know what I mean? So it's like if I'm able to counteract that, yeah, it may come out every now and then, but it's sort of like I'm able to now go back to what I want. Do you sort of get it? Just because I'm an aggressive person doesn't mean I always have to be aggressive. Even though a lot of people, even when I think that I'm being very, very passive, seem to think I'm very aggressive. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like anything bad. It's just that, like, like my mind is designed for a very specific thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we're out in the wilderness, like my aggression isn't a negative thing. Do you sort of get it? My aggression allows me to run faster, to strike harder, to be more fearless. Do you sort of get it? So in hunting, it is very useful. Do you sort of get it? In self-defense, it's very, very useful. So it's not that I repress my aggression, it's a part of me, but like I don't have to choose it. Do you sort of get it? Like I don't have to because like right now I feel aggressive. Do you sort of get it? Like inside. And it's nothing like I'm not upset or angry. It's just natural for me. It's a natural aggression that I have. Do you sort of get it? Like, and we all have this. So maybe naturally I'm more emotional. Maybe naturally I'm, more fearful and things like that. And it's like, it's okay for me to be fearful in life and hold fear, but it's like, if all of my actions, behaviors, and thoughts are ones of fear, it's going to amplify the fear I feel. So it's like I have to consciously choose an alternative path. Do you sort of get it? So, like, if I feel insecure about my looks, well, I have to choose to find something secure about myself that I like. Do you sort of get it? Like, that's how I build myself up so that I can let go to the fear. It's not that the fear isn't there, it's just that the fear is irrelevant. Do you sort of get it? Just like, for example, in romance or in dating, in conversation, is aggression really needed? Do you know what I mean? If I start shouting at you and screaming at you, like, and being very, very aggressive, like, is that even like necessary? No. Do you sort of get it? So it's not that we repress it, it's that we don't need it. So if I overcome it and I know the behaviors and thoughts and actions that I want, it's always going to be there. But it's just that I don't need to sort of amplify it. I can just let it be sort of under the surface away. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that like that's what we do, because that would be partly like repressing it, but it's just sort of like even if I have negative tendencies, it's like I should always aspire for the best. I should always aspire that in fear to overcome that fear. Do you know what I mean? In insecurity to become secure. Do you know what I mean? In vulnerability to become, to see the strength, not the weakness. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of us think that being vulnerable means that we're weak, and that's not what it means. Do you sort of get it? Should I show you my neck? Do you sort of get it? Like you can think that that's a weakness because now you can strike a vital part of me, but it's sort of like if I'm willing to do that, do you know what I mean? And you're sitting there all bunched up and protected, I have a lot more domination and control over the environment. Do you know what I mean? Like if we were in a situation like a fight, like if I'm willing and we can think that it's full of shit, but this is what we do in combat. Do you know what I mean? There's many things that people do. Like for example, take the military, guys might not wear not camouflage, body armor. Do you know what I mean? And they might just fight in a t-shirt when they're fighting to defend the base. Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of a show for it because, like, ideally, like you would have fucking body armor on because bullets are very, very effective against unarmored targets. Do you know what I mean? They tend to explode out. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like this idea that, like, if I'm able to, if I am, like, if I have fear of vulnerability, it's like if I am able to create security over that, create strength in vulnerability, it's sort of like now I've taken what was a negative trait and I've turned it into a positive trait. Because even though I feel fear and vulnerability, like if I lift my neck to you, you could slice it quite easily. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it wouldn't take much. It would take 2 pounds of pressure punching to crush the esophagus. Like it's like I'm in no, so to speak, position of strength physically. Do you know what I mean? So like there's always going to be that fear of being vulnerable. But what happens from vulnerability? Do you know what I mean? So like we think about it like this. Two ways we can use vulnerability. One way is psychological manipulation. So, like, I'm not afraid because you're not a threat. So, I can try and make you believe that you can't hurt me. And then the other way is in our social interactions. So, like, for example, like, let's say, like, we're all at a park and things like that, and there are kids and I'm a man and I'm coming up and you've got kids with you. It's sort of like I have to show a certain level of vulnerability because if I come up aggressive and things like that, you're going to feel threatened. Do you sort of get it? So, like, it's this idea of social interaction that through vulnerability, we are able to disarm other people and just sort of not present a threat or not present ourselves as being a predator, as this, as that. Because you think about it throughout history, if we're in small groupings and things like that, like if you're outside of the tribe that I know, like why wouldn't I kill you? Do you sort of get it? Like why like that? that's sort of the mentality of like external will attack us. We only have the internal. So through our evolution of, our emotions and our emotional states and our brain development, like these things all started to happen where it's like we can use vulnerability to promote that we have no malintention or no, negative intention towards them. Downside is that's how the fucking evil people do it too. That's how the predators do it. So, like, that's the problem with it. Why we have fears around vulnerability is because should I show a predator my neck, it will strike it. Should I lift my neck in front of a tiger, the tiger will strike because that's where it wants to strike. Do you sort of get it? Like, that's the thing. Like, predators will strike. So that's where the overcoming the fear of my being vulnerable or my vulnerabilities comes in. That should I be able to overcome them, it's not that people can't hurt me because of them. Do you know what I mean? It's that I don't allow myself to be hurt by it. For example, I'm not walking into a fucking cage with a tiger and lifting me neck up to it. No fucking way. I'm not walking into a fucking cage with a tiger. Do you know what I mean? Like it would be stupid. So we start to realize that, like, while I want to aspire to always be my most vulnerable self, my most authentic self, the real me, I want to, you know, be like that aspect of myself where you can see who I am, even if it means that should you attack me, you can hit me. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like this idea, should I live like this? And I'm willing to take that, even if you try to attack me, you can hit me. It's sort of like, I'm okay with it. I can take the punches. Do you know what I mean? Because the benefits always outweigh the negative. So, like, for example, like 90% of people in this earth aren't fucking evil. Do you sort of get it? Yet evil is everywhere in the world. Like, how can that be? If everyone is not evil, why is evil everywhere? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what we start to understand is that it isn't everywhere, so to speak. It is very, very small populations of, society that are evil, so to speak. And evil would be someone that takes negative action towards someone for no reason other than malintent. Like someone that consciously chooses to hurt someone because they want to, not because that person did anything to them, not because of this, not because of that. They just wanted to hurt someone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, we start to see that, like, it's not that they're, so to speak, everywhere. It's that we naturally hyper focus on them and we see it. Do you sort of get it? So, like that's one of the big things that when I'm always fearful of the negative, if I'm always fearful of the predators, like I'm going to create and structure my life based out of fear of trying to avoid them and protect myself from them. So I limit and can like close myself down. Do you sort of get it? So like that's the thing. If I don't overcome them, I look to protect them. So if I have a fear of vulnerability, I'll look to create armor to protect myself so that you don't see my vulnerability. So like for you to hit my vulnerability is like shooting in a field in the dark, trying to hit a marble. Do you know what I mean? Like you have no idea where that marble is. So like if you hit it, like it's gonna suck, but it's like that was a lucky shot. You're not gonna be able to do that twice. Do you sort of get it? Like that's the thing. Like, that's the mindset we got to break because that's the negative mindset that closes us down to where if I'm afraid of being vulnerable in love, I cease feeling like I cease trying to experience love. And then I just experience toxic, negative behavior, like relationships. Do you sort of get it? Like, I'm afraid to sort of be vulnerable and go for what I want. So I settle for what I don't want. If I'm afraid to follow my dreams in life towards my career, I settle for a career that I don't want. Maybe it's something that I'm okay at. Maybe it's something that I'm good at. Maybe it's something that I enjoy, but I'm never going to truly feel what it feels like to be alive. Do you sort of get it? I'm never truly going to feel love unless, you know, unless I don't settle for it. Like what is not love to me. And the funny thing is that like, it's not to say that there aren't negative people in life, but it's like naturally people aren't negative. Do you know what I mean? So, like in relationships, if it goes toxic, they're not usually negative people. It's just the frequency, the vibration misaligned, created chaos instead of resonance. Do you know what I mean? So it's like this understanding that like it's not that people will hurt me with malintent, it's that people will usually hurt me trying to protect themselves in fear. Do you know what I mean? Now, many people will go out there and try and do it in malintent as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the key thing is to identify and realize that other people can't hurt me even if they take negative action towards me. So if I let go to the need to have other people's negative action hurt me, now I am just free to see what actions do I like, what actions don't I like, what do I want in life, what don't I want in life. Do you sort of get it? The more we start to understand this, the more we start to see, should I always strive for the ideal? Even if people hurt me intentionally or unintentionally, like it's not the end of the world. Do you sort of get it? Very important to understand this because it's sort of like if I'm moving towards my ideal body, my ideal weight, it's like the process to get there is a process of destruction. Do you know what I mean? Just like the process to find love is a process of destruction. I have to be willing to destroy what is not love so that I may understand what love is. Like if I'm always settling for like relationships I don't want, I'm never going to know what relationship I want. Just the same, if I'm always insecure about my workouts when I'm trying to lose weight, about my body, and I'm not gonna work out. Do you sort of get it? Like if I'm always afraid of people judging me when I go to the gym, it's gonna make it a lot harder for me to go to the gym. And you can look at any survey of gyms. That is the number one thing that people have that makes them fearful and makes them sort of not resent, but not want to come to the gym as much as possible. And it's very funny because the thing is that if you go to the gym and you say hello to everyone, the gym becomes a very, very like fun community. If you go to the gym and you're afraid to say hello to people and connect with people, it's a very awkward place because there's mirrors all around. So you cannot not see someone. Do you sort of get it? So it's sort of like if you're looking around in the mirror and someone looks back at you, you wave at them and say g'day. Do you sort of get it? But if you don't wave at them and say g'day, it creates an awkward tension. Do you sort of get it? And that's the thing. So it's like if I'm going around and I'm wanting to become my ideal self, like lose weight, to become healthy, it's sort of like I have to connect with the environment. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to be willing to, when feeling awkward, smile and wave and say hello. That's the only way to overcome it. Do you sort of get it? Otherwise, I'm always going to feel socially anxious when I'm in the gym. I'm always going to feel judged. Do you know what I mean? And it's very important to understand this because, like, everyone feels it. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone feels like if I'm struggling to lift a weight, if I can't lift what I want to lift, if I can't run how I want to run, if I can't do this, if I can't do that, like people are judging me. And the funny thing is everyone's in the same boat. Do you know what I mean? It's just some people have been rowing longer than others, so they understand the strokes to do. Do you know what I mean? So, like, now let's think about that in love. If I am always afraid and insecure to show my authentic self to people, love is going to be a very, very like insecure place because when I try to interact and talk with people, I'll always be afraid to connect with them. Do you sort of get it? Like I'll always be afraid. So if I'm going out and I'm meeting people but I'm afraid to talk to them, it's sort of like how could that ever develop? Do you know what I mean? I have to overcome that. If I'm afraid to say what I want, if I'm afraid to set boundaries that make me feel secured, if I'm afraid to, do you know what I mean? Like the only way to sort of become comfortable in the environment is to interact with it authentically as yourself. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for example, you take the gym, like, you're not going like, oh, you got 20 kilos a hand, blah, blah, blah. Like, you just say, like, doing good, bro. Like, it doesn't have to be any further. Do you know what I mean? You say hello, like, whatever. It doesn't have to be this big, bad, and like personal conversation. Do you know what I mean? But if I go in there and I'm trying to connect with the environment in a negative way, do you know what I mean? Then I'm going to create a negative environment. So, how I interact and connect with the environment shapes and determines how I experience the environment. If I interact, and you can see it in conversations, do you know what I mean? Where someone can be mad, someone's not mad. Do you know what I mean? And they're having an argument, and one's getting madder and madder and madder, and the other one doesn't understand why the other one's mad. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of like if that is like the case, like where there's misalignment, do you know what I mean? That I could be angry, you could be happy. Do you know what I mean? So like if I understand that, then it's just this idea that if I'm able to realize the irrelevance of trying to dominate the situation. Do you know what I mean? If someone's mad and I'm happy, like it's sort of like, yeah, they're mad, but it's like, is winning the argument, is that going to alter it? Do you know what I mean? If I don't want anger, resentment, aggression, all these negative things in my environment, if I don't want someone to be mad around me and I want to have a positive environment, it's sort of like how I interact with that person will dictate and determine how they interact. If I'm arguing with them trying to prove a point, it's only going to amplify the problem. So, like maybe if I change my approach and talk and try and understand where they're coming from or why they're getting upset, it's sort of like now I've changed the dynamic from instead of it just everything, every like thing sentence said adding fuel to the fire. Well, now it's sort of exploring or changing the direction. Do you sort of get it? So it's like I can change and alter the environment by how I show up, how I interact with it. I can try and dominate the environment and always be right. Do you know what I mean? And, I could do that, but it's never going to lead to where you want it to lead to. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's important for me to start to realize that it's like interacting with the environment and dominating the environment are the same thing. It's just the intention behind them is different. One is internally focused, one is externally focused. When I'm worried about why you're getting angry from this conversation, why are you getting madder and madder? Like, are you an idiot? Like, what? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like if I'm taking that approach, I'm just creating conflict because it's like you shouldn't be angry. I've done nothing to you. Why are you getting angry? Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I take the internal approach, it's like you're getting angry. Why are you getting angry? Like, what about this is causing this? Do you sort of understand? Like, what part of this conversation is creating the resistance or that response? Do you know what I mean? So we go internally and we try and understand it internally, and then we alter and change it internally. Do you sort of get it? So it's sort of like if you are talking and someone was getting angry, it's sort of like if you ask them, like, why are you getting angry? Like, what's causing this? Like, they'll probably tell you. Do you know what I mean? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.